My name's Ray Campbell. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you'd have heard me say these words, use what you have, when talking about matching your watercolours to the colours that I'm using. Now, what do I mean by that? How is that going to help you match the colours to the colours that I'm using, or indeed any other tutor? So let's talk about it. Okay, so how does it work? Here you can see me holding up a swatch card of my watercolour paints. These are from Winsor & Newton, and this sits very nicely in my Winsor & Newton set that I have slightly off camera there. Now, we're not talking about watercolour mixing here and mixing multiple colours. All we're looking at is a really simple system that will help you match your watercolour paints. So what you're going to need to do this is a sheet of watercolour paper, some kitchen paper, and of course your favourite paints that you're going to swatch out. I highly recommend that you do this for every single colour paint that you have, because they inevitably look different in the pans compared to how they look on the paper. Like I said, we're not talking about mixing colours here, we're just talking about getting these colours onto the watercolour paper from their dark, mid and light forms. So all you're going to need to swatch out your colours is a sheet of watercolour paper. Now, this can be your favourite brand, your favourite type, be it smooth or rough, it's entirely up to you. From experience, I would say it does work slightly better on a rougher surface, because if you have a granulating paint, it does show up that granulation better. But today I'm just using a hot press paper because I had some spare to hand. I'm starting off with the darkest tone. Notice I've just wet my watercolour paints in the pan, and I'm just taking a brush and I'm trying to get as much pigment as possible onto the brush to get a dark colour on the paper. I'm not going to layer these when they're dry, I just want to get it onto the paper in its thickest form, and we're going to let that dry down naturally. Then I dip my brush in my water just to take off some of the excess paint to create the mid-tone like this. You can see the difference between the two already. Just by adding water from the dark to the mid-tone, you can see how different they look. This is why it's so important to do these to help you match your colours. So we have our darkest colour on the left, then we have our mid-tone in the middle, and like I said, you can see how different they look already. And again, we go back in to the water with a brush, just swirling it around in plain water, taking off a little bit of the excess there. And you can see the aim here is to get it as light as possible. So we have our dark, our mid and our light. This colour is called Mirabelle, in case you're interested, and all the colours I'm using today are from my favourite brand, a deep, deep light. I will list all the colours in the description box in case you're interested. But here you can see the colours swatched out. Making sure that your brush is super clean. Now this is really important. You don't want to contaminate the brush with a different colour when you go to swatch your second and third and so on. Same process again. Clean brush, dip it in the pan, and you're going to get as much pigment as possible onto your brush. You want this to look as dark as it can be with one swoop. No layering, just onto the paper, swirling your brush around in the water to create your mid and again for the lightest tone. Already you can see how different these colours look. As I said, this is so important to matching your watercolours to your painting or to a different brand, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. So you see here we've got our dark, our mid and our light, this time in the colour Rosehip. You'll need to do this for all of your colours in your paint set. It isn't about mixing, it's just about getting them onto the paper. I'm going to do a couple more for you so that you can see how I do it. Straight from the pan, swirling it round into the water, tapping off the excess for your mid, and we'll do another swirl around and a tap off for the light tone. The aim here is to get each colour swatched out in the same consistency for the dark, the mid and the light. There will be a little bit of variation, but it really doesn't matter. All you're looking for here is to have a rough idea how these colours are going to look when you paint them onto your watercolour paper. I've done the rest of these off camera and you can see they're all completely dry now. They look really different swatched out compared to the way that they look in the pan. So it's really, really important that you get them down onto the paper like this. It's not about mixing colours, it's just about swatching them out. It really is that easy. In a moment, I'm going to show you how you can use this to your advantage. You see this little set I've got here. This fits in my tin, and I do this for all of my watercolour sets. I've also done a comprehensive set so that I can keep them all in a binder, so that if you get stuck with your watercolour matching, just ask me and I'll know which colour to pick for you. That sits nicely in the tin, and it just means that I'm not looking around for it every time I paint or to match my colours. Why it looks different from the pan to the paper, and again, this is why it's super important to swatch out any colours that you have. Let's take the example here of Prickly Pear. Now this is one of my favourite paints ever from Deep Light. I absolutely adore it, and I use it a lot in my paintings. It's great. It's a granulating paint, and it's great for painting barks. But look at the dark colour on the left hand side here compared to the mid-tone and the light. This is why it's so important to swatch them out in this way. The dark colour looks like a dark brown, but the mid-tone is really special on the dry down. When you're looking at the colour Prickly Pear, for example, in the pan, it looks nothing special. But when you're swatching it out on watercolour paper like this, you can see how that paint performs. This is the colour in the pan. You can see it just looks like a muddy brown colour, nothing really special. I wouldn't look at this twice if I didn't know how it looked swatched out. But when I tell you this colour is so special, and by swatching it out this way, look at the difference. Okay, so this is just an example of how great the colours can look swatched out compared to how they look in the pans. Compared to how they swatch out, again, another example of how amazing they look. But now that we've done all the swatching and we've looked at the colours in the pans, we need to figure out how we can make this work in actual painting, be it with me, to paint along with my tutorials, or on your own. Okay. You can see here I've got a plant that I was painting, and this is on my iPad. I always paint from my iPad because it does mean that I can zoom in on my subject and get a really close look. So first of all, let's think of the concept, use what you have. Let's assume that you haven't got the same colours as me, because not everyone has the same colours. What you're going to do is look at the colours that I'm using on my card and look at the colours on your own and match to the nearest one. It's that simple. If, for example, I've used Rosehip, as you can see me pointing to here, on my swatch card I'm going to these orangey tones. These are from Winsor & Newton or Schminker, and I'm just picking the nearest one. My point is, you don't have to be colour accurate. Just go to the nearest that you have and you'll get similar results. Granted, it's not going to be exactly the same, but I promise you it will not spoil the quality of your painting. It's about you getting used to your colours. It's about you knowing what you have within your own set. That's the important thing. We are not a paint by numbers channel. We're not about making you pick exactly the same colours. It's about you getting to know what you have in your own kit so that you become a more accomplished artist. This is why this system works so well. You can see me here pointing to ultramarine violet and a purple colour that I have in my other set. And this is how this works so well. But how do we get to match those colours that you've got within your set to your painting? On my iPad here, I have this red plant, and I'm going to show you how I match the colours to the colours that I've got that I'm using on that particular day. I like to paint from my iPad because I can zoom in like this and get nice and close to figure out what the colours are. You see on this little plant here that there's a definite red tone. You could pick any of the reds, it doesn't matter. But you'll also notice this bluey purpley hue. If I'd put red here, it wouldn't work, so instead I would go with something like a purple or a blue. By zooming in and just looking at that purple tone, you'll see it there underneath, and that's how easy it is. Don't use red all over. Look at the colours that you've got. Go to the closest colour that you have and just pick that. It really is as simple as that. All you have to do is swatch up your colours one by one, dark, mid and light. Compare your colours to each other, compare your colours to the colours that I'm using, and compare the colours to the subject that you're painting. I really hope that you found this video helpful. If you've enjoyed it, you may want to consider subscribing to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. These paints are from Deep Light. They're my favourite brand, but use yours. If you'd like to check them out yourself, I will link them in the description box, and I've got a discount code. Thank you for watching. My name is Ray, and I'll see you soon.